Above all else, I want to see things differently. Above all else, you want to see things differently. What's good, fam? We made it to lesson 28 of A Course in Miracles. Day 28. It's almost been a whole entire month of us being together and remembering who and what we are and the power that lies within us. And I'm I'm very positive that it's been doing wonders in your life. It's been doing wonders in my life, and we're going to dive straight into this. But I just want to read a little portion of this lesson real quick. We're gonna get back to it. But in here it states, hidden under all your ideas about anything is its real purpose. So everything we see, whether it's these curtains, whether it's this shirt or this body, or whether it's a situation that you're going through, whatever it may be, hidden under what all the images that we have placed on it is its real purpose. And that's what we are going to see today. We are going to see the real purpose hidden in every single thing that we see in this world, because that will allow us to see first and foremost. It will allow us to see, because lesson 27, the one we did yesterday, stated, above all else, I want to see. And that's implying that me and you are not seeing already. And it's true, because although we think we're seeing, we are only seeing the reflection of all of the images that we have placed over the true meaning of everything that we think we see. So today dovetails right off of yesterday's lesson and states, above all else, I want to see things differently. And now this is going to help us remove the images that we made on everything, so that way we can see its true purpose and what it's really intended for. And this is powerful, because any situations that we may be going through with involving people or whatever the case may be, we are going to say, above all else, I want to see this situation involving blank differently. And this is going to help us be willing to remove what we have put on everything and everyone, so that way we could see everything and everyone for who they truly are, which is who we truly are. So if you got the book, you already know what to do. Open up to page lesson 28. If you don't got the book yet, the PDF is in the description. And we are going to hop right into this, and then we're going to apply it together and discuss what we applied like usual, and let's see what this is all about. Lesson 28 of A Course in Miracles. Above all else, I want to see things differently. Today, we are really giving specific application to the idea for yesterday. In these practice periods, you will be making a series of definite commitments. The question of whether you will keep them in the future is not our concern here. If you are willing at least to make them now, you have started on the way to keeping them, and we are still at the beginning. You may wonder why it is important to say, for example, above all else, I want to see this table differently. In itself, it is not important at all. Yet, what is by itself, and what does in itself mean? You see a lot of separate things about you, which really means you are not seeing at all. You either see or not. When you have seen one thing differently, you will see all things differently. The light you will see in any one of them is the same light you will see in them all. When you say, above all else, I want to see this table differently, you are making a commitment to withdraw your preconceived ideas about the table and open your mind to what it is and what it is for. You are not defining it in past terms. You are asking what it is rather than telling it what it is. So it states that real quick. It states you are not defining it in past terms. That's kind of what we're doing, is everything we see, we are seeing what we have done with it in the past. We are only thinking of the past, and we're not saying this in our mind. It's not consciously happening. But whenever we take a look at a mic, or we take a look at this hand of ours, or we take a look at anything that we see in this world with our physical eyes, we are seeing all of our past experiences with that thing we're looking at. And that causes us to not see that thing that we're looking at for what it is right now in this moment, because right now in this moment is all there is. If we're seeing the past in something, we're not really seeing it at all. And another good example that makes a little more sense and doesn't sound so conceptual is, let's take another person, for example. Okay, think of somebody in your life that you know you have to forgive but you haven't forgiven, or somebody that you're just angry at for whatever reason. We're going to use that person right now in this very instant. Me and you are here talking right now. They are love and light like me and you are, but because you're looking at that person and you're only seeing what they've done in the past, you're not really seeing that person for who they are right now. You're just seeing what they've done in the past, and the past is no longer here. And whenever we affirm that above all else we want to see things differently, that is the first step to helping us like see things differently. And it's going to be good, because whenever we do this, we're actually more able to live in the moment, in the now, which is what life is all about. We're able to be more present, and we're not so preoccupied with past thoughts about everything we see, stuck in the past. And one more thing I do want to say, and I had a big problem with this before, is someone would be talking to me like right here and now, and they say something, and I'm not really living in the present moment with them because I'm thinking in my head, preoccupied with other thoughts about what I'm going to say next based off of what they're saying right now. And that just made all of my relationships really shallow, because I was always worried about what I was going to say next and how I was going to respond, and I wasn't there with them. I didn't really get to feel the fullness of what they were saying because I was in the past. My mind was in the past, and that means that I am in that moment unable to be fully present with them. And in that moment, I was unable to see them and what they were saying for who they truly are. And there's really nothing good that could come out of that because I wasn't present. So I kind of, if we want to use the term, wasted that moment. And it can't really be wasted, but it could have just been used so much more beneficially, rather than for my ego trying to keep me preoccupied with other things, so that way I'm not seeing this child of light for who they are right now in this moment. So just keep that in mind, is that what we think we see is really all of our past experiences in these things. And when we remove those past experiences from what we see, we're able to be fully present with it right now, and that opens up to so many opportunities to create, to see it differently, and we see what its purpose is really for, and then just so many different opportunities. So let's continue. When you say above all else, I want to see this table differently, you are making a commitment to withdraw your preconceived ideas about the table and open your mind to what it is and what it is for. You are not defining it in past terms. You are asking what it is rather than telling it what it is. You are not binding its meaning to your tiny experience of tables, nor are you limiting its purpose to your little personal thoughts. You will not question what you have already defined. And the purpose of these exercises is to ask questions and receive the answers. In saying, above all else, I want to see this table differently, you are committing yourself to seeing. Real quick, before we continue, I also want to go back to that first bar. It says, you will not question what you have already defined. And the purpose of these exercises is to ask questions and receive the answers. So here's something that I want to say, is that we are always asking. Every single moment we experience contrast and what we don't want, we know more clearly what we do want. And that is us in that moment asking, whether we're using words or not, we're asking. I just experienced this situation that I would not prefer, therefore I know more clearly I would like to experience this next time. And we just asked, we became more in that moment because we expanded our awareness to something that was more than what was previously. Now we, if we're available in that instant, can receive the answer. We can receive the actual feeling of it being done as if it was already here now, allowing it to come to pass more quickly, so that way we're not waiting so long for what we want to come to pass. We're open to it being available to us right now, and therefore whatever we want will come quicker than if we were still focused on what caused us to ask for that new thing we asked for. So my whole purpose with saying all of that is, and one more time, you will not question what you have already defined. So if you already defined a situation like, this is all of the money that I have right here, and this is just how it is, and this is how life is for me, and this is just how it's always been, this is the way how it's been for my family. So, and you're kind of defining everything you see right now, then we are, and like it says right here, I'm gonna read it one more time so I don't misinterpret anything. The purpose of these exercises is to ask questions and receive the answers. So we're not open to receiving nothing if we think we've already defined how it is. If we remove all of our images on all of these things in our life that we have placed there, we are open to seeing it for what it really is, and therefore open to receiving the equivalence of that as well. Let's continue. And saying above all else, I want to see this table differently. You are committing yourself to seeing. It is not an exclusive commitment. It is a commitment that applies to the table just as much as to anything else, neither more nor less. You could, in fact, gain vision from just that table if you would withdraw all your own ideas from it and look upon it with a completely open mind. It has something to show you, something beautiful and clean and of infinite value, full of happiness and hope. Hidden under all your ideas about it is its real purpose, the purpose it shares with all the universe. In using the table as a subject for applying the idea for today, you are therefore really asking to see the purpose of the universe. You will be making this same request of each subject that you use in the practice periods, and you are making a commitment to each of them to let its purpose be revealed to you, instead of placing your own judgment upon it. We will have 6 2-minute practice periods today, in which the idea for the day is stated first, and then applied to whatever you see about it, whatever you see about you. Not only should the subjects be chosen randomly, but each one should be accorded equal sincerity as today's idea is applied to it, in an attempt to acknowledge the equal value of them all in their contribution to your seeing. As usual, the applications should include the name of the subject your eyes happen to light on, and you should rest your eyes on it while saying, above all else, I want to see this blank differently. Each application should be made quite slowly and as thoughtfully as possible. There is no hurry. So let's go ahead and apply this a few times together so we could have some practice with this before we do it individually. Above all else, I want to see this book differently. Above all else, I want to see this hand differently. Remember, that might sound crazy, but this is not who you are. You can't see who you really are with your physical eyes, because it's much more greater and larger than your eyes could perceive. So the only thing that you could see about me is my body, but this is not who I am. But I'm really positive that you feel me right now, and what you feel right now is nothing that this body could provide. It is energy. It is who I truly am. So remember, we want to see this body differently, and whenever we see this body differently, we'll see that it's perfect already. There's no need to make it perfect. There's no need to buy clothes that will make you feel like you're more important or more attractive, because that's all an illusion, and you think that, and I think that, and people think that they need things to enhance this physical tool of theirs, because they don't know that it's just a tool. They think it's really who they are. They are identifying with the ego, who identifies with the body. And whenever you do that, you think that you are capable of being harmed. You think that death is a real thing. People think that death is real, and that's just not so, because although this body is perishable and it is inevitable that it is going to be perishable, what it is containing is eternal. So just keep that in mind, that whenever you understand how to detach from this body that you see, then you really have ridded yourself from most of your problems that you think you have. And you'll look in the mirror and you'll be so blessed and so happy with what you have right now, this tool. Remember, everything in this world is all energy. It's vibration or frequency, if you will. And this body that we're using is a tool to help us interpret the physicalness of that energy. So for example, is my eyes, they are vibrational interpreters, allowing me to perceive light. And like, for example, if you were in science, they talk about the spectrum of light, and there's like, I don't even know, so I'm just gonna say what I think, but it's like the UV, there's the X-ray, and then on this tiny little spectrum, there's a tiny little portion out of this large spectrum of light. It's only this tiny little portion that our eyes could perceive, and each color has a different frequency and different vibration that it resonates at, and our eyes interpret that vibration, which causes us to see that color. So that's all it is. Our skin, it's a vibrational interpreter that allows us to feel textures. Our nose is a vibrational interpreter that allows us to, the nose is interpreting vibration that causes us to smell the distinct smells. So that's all this body is. It's just a vibrational interpreter. And when you know that, you're not so attached to it, and you don't feel so uptight whenever somebody criticizes it or anything of that matter. So let's continue. Above all else, I want to see this body differently. Above all else, I want to see this situation involving Josh differently. Above all else, I want to see this situation involving Jennifer differently. Above all else, I want to see things differently. Now, that's everything for lesson 28 today. We're going to take the time today to apply this on our own time, and we are going to be willing to apply this, because remember, whenever you are willing to do this, then you are open to removing all of your preconceived ideas about what you see about you, and now you are open to receiving the actual meaning for what these things are for. And once that time comes, which only takes an instant, the moment you are willing, instantly things happen. This is not anything that is concerned with time, because time in this world is really not real, and that even sounds crazy. But we're going to understand why that statement is true, and it's going to free us from the past. It's going to free us from the future, and we're going to live perfectly in this now moment, and it's just going to be so enlightening. So yes, let's go ahead and again be willing to apply this to see things differently, and instantly things will begin to happen, miracles will begin to occur, and that's about it. I will see you tomorrow for lesson 29.